I shot a video earlier comparing these stones that I'll have on the website. The Gouken Arata is the first one I got in, which is by Nanawa, a 2000 grit. I really loved it, and it's my new go-to stone. Now I just got in the Gouken Kagayaki, which means shine. And in looking at them, basically the difference is the thickness of it, but I wanted to compare them side by side. Bottom line, if you don't want to watch the whole video, I like them both. But you may want to do a comparison and see what I saw with them and see me do some ride lines. And if you want to know a little bit more about ride lines, watch the video to the end. I'm Bonnie Megowan. I love ride lines. I love waterstones. I love shears. And I enjoy sharpening. And I'd like to share some of my sharpening information with you. So make sure you subscribe. Go to my website. Come to me for training. Watch me show the two different waterstones and how I use them in sharpening. Now it's fortunate. I got in a bunch of shears to sharpen. So we can look at these and use them for comparison. Oh man. Okay, I have, let's find one that we know what it's supposed to look like, because some of these may be my brands. Yeah, here is one of our easiest, nicest shears to sharpen. It's my favorite shear to sharpen. This is the Rose 5.5. Very common shear. We sell a lot of these. And let's see what the rod line looks like now. And then I'll work the rod line with both stones and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. So let's take this apart. Usually, you know, I put the red Sharpie on the rod line. I'm not going to this time because I want you to be able to clearly see the before and after. These rod lines don't look too bad. It's a little wimpy at the tip on this one. See a few little scratches in here, but they really don't look bad. Let me show you what we're starting with. And this just needs sharpening. It's not a bad looking rod line. Hasn't disappeared. Okay, let's look at the rod line. This is the one I'm going to do on this stone. And I'll compare. These rod lines should look pretty much the same between the two shears. Yeah, they look pretty much the same. So I'm going to wet both of them. What I do, before I get into this, let's compare the two stones. They both have the same case, which I like that because there's room to put the Naniwa stone right up in here, see? And it closes up. So that's super in my opinion. But the first thing I noticed, of course, the color is different. And the width is different. Do you see that? I would say this one's a third thicker. It's not twice as thick, but it's a third thicker. But these stones, I mean, I have stones I've been using for decades that have not worn down. So the thickness is not so critical, especially since you've got a nice little case to put it on, so that your hand's up. Where the thickness of the stone is more of an aggravation is when you're down here and you've got no room for your knuckles. So it is thinner. It does tell me on the side that it's 2000 grit, which I like that. It's hard to tell if we're feeling apples to apples, so until I go over and flatten it. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten this stone. This one may feel slightly rougher than this one. They're both 2000 grit, but my fingers are pretty sensitive. This one might be a little tiny bit rougher. That's not always a bad thing. As long as I get a good shine. Okay, I said I was going to do the back blade on the old stone. And it's not that old because I've only had this, oh, maybe a month. I just haven't uploaded the video of it yet because I wanted to make sure I had them in stock. And then I couldn't get them in stock, and I was able to get the Arata stone. And, no, this is the Arata. I was able to get the Kagayaki stone. And so I don't know how many strokes I made because I was talking. Probably about 7. Let's do that with this one. 1, 2, 3. You see how it looks like there's more of a buildup, but that could be just a function of the color of the stones. So I'm going to wipe them off good, and we're going to compare. I think I like it as well, if not better. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to let you look at them with me. So this is the Arata stone. That rideline definitely looks better, doesn't it, with the Arata stone. Now this is the Kagayaki stone. I'll look at it myself a little bit closer. You know, I'd be hard pressed to see a difference. I'm not really seeing a difference. I'm going to let you look at it and see if you see any difference between the two. The one on the bottom is the Kagayaki stone. So one thing I didn't do was go over it with a Naniwa stone. I don't really need to worry about the cross-contamination with my Naniwa stone because these are both 2000 grit. So I'm going to go over and see how well this cleans up. So I'm spraying it with water, both of them. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Making mud pies here. Now, you know, now that I've gone over it with the Naniwa stone, I'm not feeling maybe slightly more aggressive. As far as the feel of the stones, I'm going to do two more blades. Let me take another shear part. Okay, this time I'm going to do it my usual way. Put my red Sharpie down. And I'm going to do the back blade on this stone and the front blade on that one. Create some sharpening mud. Back blade. Front blade. This one might feel a little closer to the Sharpen glass stones. It just, I don't know, has a little harder feel to it. Let me see. Yeah, but it's not that much difference in the feel. Wipe these off good and we'll compare these two. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a difference between the two. If anything, the Kagayaki it looks like might be a more distinctive rideline, but you know, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I'll let you look at both of these too. Always fun to look at Ridelines. And those of you that are new to sharpening, what a Rideline is, it's the shiny line that comes down here and goes up there. And someone asked me on one of my last videos, how do you keep the Rideline from going up the back? And it's because the way the shear is made in the factory, when they put the hollow in, just for an example, when they put the hollow in, that's the concave part, they go at an angle. And because they go at an angle and putting the hollow in, it makes the back side a little higher. So the only part that's flat is right along the edge and up here. So if you put your pressure over the pivot, which is the correct way and the way they do it in every factory I've ever come across, you're only the right here at the cutting edge is going to touch. So that's how you keep it off the back. If you're taking off metal off the back, your positioning on your stone is wrong. A lot of people think it's that their stone should be flattened or something, but usually it's your pressure and your position on your stone. So I promised you I was going to let you see these two as well. This one is the back blade. And this is the one done on the Arata stone. And this is the front blade, which is the one done on the Kagayaki stone. I need to say that a few times, Kagayaki. So let me know if you can see a difference between the two. I'm not really seeing it. So I think both these stones are great. The difference in the price is this one may be a little higher quality, and also it's thicker. They're both ceramic stones coming from Japan, and the 2000 grit's what I recommend. We may be carrying both these stones in the future, so you have a choice. We're importing them from Japan, so many times the stones that we import are out of stock, so we like to have 2 or 3 that we recommend, so that if we can't get one in, some of them take up to 6 months to get in, and we have to buy in big quantities too. So I'd like to have a couple of different stones that I recommend, that I use, that I like, and these are going to be a little priced higher than the stone we usually use for beginners, which is an excellent stone as well, but you don't want to get the cheap Chinese made stones that you can buy on Amazon or whatever. I have another video, and you may want to watch that one too, about where I looked and compared to the what was supposed to be I think a 6,000 grit Chinese stone, and it wasn't even as smooth as what we use for 1,000 grit. So you've got to be wise consumers, and I'm glad I'm able to compare things for you and let you see and feel with my fingers what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling, and letting you look at them. So give me your opinion here. If you have a favorite stone, let me know that too. If you want to see more comparisons of sharpening tools, polished stones, those kind of things, we'll be having more in the future, a lot of sharpening videos, and just make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of them. Hit the bell when you subscribe, because that bell will assure you that you're notified when we have new videos.